You're watching Tri Vibes TV. Welcome back to another weekly training video where I'm here to talk through all of the training I'm doing to prepare for Ironman Texas coming up in April of 2027. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my triathlon training last week, day by day. I'll talk about my training plans for the week coming up ahead, and I am going to tell you the most exciting news I've had in a long time coming from my Garmin training status. Spoiler alerts. I am finally productive. First of all, let me explain. I am standing in my childhood home right outside my childhood bedroom. I am here in Wallingford, Connecticut, where I grew up for the next 2 weeks, and I'm so excited to be doing a lot of training, swimming, biking, and running in a completely different environment, totally different temperature, totally different road surfaces, and there are so many hills to run and ride up and down. It's just like the complete opposite of training in Houston. So let's take a look at last week's training, courtesy of the Tri-Schedule training app right here on my phone. On Monday, I got on my mountain bike and had a really nice ride out to Pine Gully Park and back from the house. Took me about an hour and 15 minutes, really easy pacing. And when I got done with that, I felt compelled to go for a run, so I did about 2 miles. I have not had a training plan for weeks now, so I'm still just kind of winging it at this point. And I really enjoyed that easy day on Monday. Tuesday, I did my strength training as usual, and I also got to swim in the pool in the neighborhood, so Tuesday was a good swim and strength training day. On Wednesday, got on the indoor trainer. We had a little bit of a storm come through Houston. Got on that indoor trainer and did a pretty vigorous ride. I averaged about 217 watts and enjoyed getting my heart rate up low zone 3 for about 15 minutes, and the rest of the time I spent in zone 2. So a little bit of probably the most effort I've put into a bike ride since my race at Sylvan Beach 2 weekends ago. So after that, I had a really nice run to do on Wednesday. On Thursday, more strength training in the morning, swimming, followed by strength training, followed by traveling here to Connecticut. So Thursday was a travel day, but I still got in the pool, swam about 2,400 yards, really trying to set myself up to keep this swimming streak going, trying to swim 3 times a week. And on Friday, I did my first little test run. You know, the day after traveling is always tough. But I got out and ran about 3.5 miles, went past like my old nursery school, my old elementary school, my old middle school. I could see my old high school in the distance. And it's like down a hill from my parents' house and then back up a big hill to come back around. Very humbling to run on the hills. And I somehow managed to run exactly a 10-13 split on my last mile, which was pretty weird. I have it tattooed on me. I hit 10:13.00 on my Garmin, so that was pretty exciting. On Saturday, I spent the morning putting my road bike back together. It had some cobwebs on it. I've stored it here at my father-in-law's house in the basement, so it was a habitat for some spiders, and it cleaned up really nicely. Got the bike put together and went out for a short little test ride. Ran into a friend from high school, literally, who was running, so I'm on my bike, he's running. We had actually recently followed each other on the Strava app, and we recognized each other, stopped, talked, and he asked if he should go get his bike and join me for a ride. So we didn't do a ride spontaneously, but we planned to meet up the next morning. So after that quick little test ride on Saturday, which was really enjoyable, about an hour, the next morning we met up and did about a 90-minute ride together. It was a lot of fun, just the two of us dudes up in the morning on Father's Day talking about our kids and riding our bikes and catching up after not seeing each other for 20 years. We got a flat tire, or Rocky got a flat tire like right before we turned back into the neighborhood. Great place to get a flat tire when you're like right down the road from your house, but we were able to fix the flat using a combination of the spare kits that I had and he had. So and then we even went for a 20-minute run afterwards as well. And I was trying to slow down. He's running a lot faster than I am, so I kept having to like sandbag a little bit and get my heart rate up. But again, acclimating to the climate here. It's so much cooler. It's like 60 degrees in the morning. It's amazing. It's kind of tricking me into not hydrating as much. I noticed on my bike ride that like I barely finished half my bottles, and that's like not me. I usually finish 2 in an hour, and I got maybe 1 in 90 minutes, and that's no bueno. I kind of felt dehydrated the rest of the day, and I think I need to like remember to drink even though I'm not pouring out sweat, because it's not 90 5 degrees out on the road or whatever it is down in Houston. So, and yeah, like I said, hills are humbling. Running up the hills, it feels so challenging. Biking up the hills actually so far feels pretty exciting. I feel a little bit more strong than I can remember feeling last year. With the gears on my bike though, my biggest cog on the back is only 23 teeth, which is, my rear cassette looks like a corn cob. It's like a flat road racing, crit racing cassette. So I should probably get with the guys at Cheshire Cycles and get a new cassette or a used cassette to make my life a little easier. So that's the training so far. Moving forward, I may actually be hopping back onto a training plan with my coach. In the meantime, I have 3 swims scheduled at the YMCA for the next 2 weeks, and I have access to their gym. In next week's video, I'll be able to give you a better idea of what the training is going to look like for the next couple of weeks while I'm here. And then coming back home, prepping for the Cyprus Sprint Triathlon World Championship at the end of July. Race 2 this year in the Bayou City Tri-Series. So all good here. And then, the big reveal, the big surprise that I spoiled earlier. Yeah, there it is. It's green. It's upside down. Read it and weep. It's been months since Garmin has given me the green light, but here we are. We'll see if we can keep it. Maybe we have a green light the whole time we're in Connecticut. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but appreciate you taking the time to watch this today. Shout out again to TriSchedule for sponsoring today's video. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.